So here's my hot take for the day. Balance is a skill, a learned skill. Stabilizer muscles don't exist. Your age has nothing to do with your mobility or your balance. This is just something that I do randomly, and I've done so for years, so I can make it look kind of easy. But when I first started this, I'd wobble all over the place. Nothing got stronger in my ankles, my knees, my hips, none of that. It's all just a skill set that I've developed over time by using it and doing it and just getting better at it. So this is probably my favorite little warm-up that I use to not only stretch my upper back and my lower back out, help me to get prepared to get in a more stable position for bench, building the arch, but it also helps me, most importantly, loosen up my abdominals and my hip flexors. So what I'm doing here, using what's known as the bodybuilder's vacuum, I am breathing in as hard as I can, expanding my abdomen, my belly breathing as hard as I can, and then pushing all of the air out, sucking my abdomen in as hard as I possibly can. Imagine trying to touch my belly button to my spine. So when I finally get to set up for bench, I can easily get into my bench position without having to feel like I'm just being crunched up into this tight ball. It just makes everything go a lot smoother. So today is more of a competition bench setting type of day. I'll be starting off with a triple. It will be a long pause, about a 3 count. It'll be the first time I'm putting my belt back on for bench since I've now been able to put my feet back on the floor, removing Larson from the program at this time. The idea of the triple and then the single is basically to prepare me for competition day, where you squat first, you get a little fatigue. Maybe your first opener for bench is a little bit harder than you expected. So I prepare myself by adding a little bit of bench fatigue by doing a somewhat hard triple to start out with. So this way, at my second attempt for bench at meet day, even if I'm a little bit fatigued, I still know about what I can do. So I generally would have a 20-pound jump, which is pretty close to a 10-kilo jump, which is normally what I would do between a first and a second on bench day. So I'll be going for a 365 triple here with a long pause, and then a 385 single with a long pause, mimicking sort of what I would do on competition day. So I'm often asked how to measure band tension, and it's quite simple. So I just set up my band on this pen peg here. You get yourself suitcase scale or a fish scale, anywhere, pretty cheap, $10, $20, set it on, and then I will just pull it to the height that I'll be benching from. This is about 20 pounds at full, and about where my chest would be is putting out about 7 pounds. So I'll be adding about 20 pounds band tension at the top per side, so 40, and about 20 pounds or so at the bottom, 15 to 20 pounds at the bottom. So for my working sets, I'm using a mid grip with accommodating resistance, using bands. And this is something that I've been using for the past several months with the exact same weight of 315, although I was using this band here, which is a lot stronger than what I'm using here. And when I first started, I was at best with long rest periods. I was able to get a 3 by 3. And then eventually I was able to get a 4th rep on my first set, moving it up, to eventually finally making it to a 3x4. So while I was never increasing weight or band tension, I was getting a rep or so every week of training, which is still progressive overload. I'll be supersetting my Magnum tricep extensions with the Pro Maximal pec deck, not for any other specific reason than time management. Got started a bit late. I got some things to do, some projects to work on in the yard. And I mentioned this in a previous video, but I think it's worth mentioning again. After my first movement of the day, today being the bench press, I don't do any warm-ups. So today on this wide row, I go straight to my working weight and I do my two working sets. I don't do any warm-ups prior to my working sets. I warm up for my bench. Today is normal, but every set thereafter of whatever I do, today being the pec deck, I go straight to my working set. The Magnum triceps, I go straight to my working set. Same with my row, the shrugs to follow, and anything else I do. And that goes for every day to include squat and deadlift. I do this for one, to be efficient with my training. If you count the amount of sets and reps that you do and the amount of time that that takes up, it's adding at least 50% to your training day. And that working volume that you're putting in, really just messing around with a bunch of light weight that's doing nothing but wasting time and adding fatigue. So I prefer just to get right to it, as in, I just benched 365 for 3 with a long pause, 385 for a single, and then 315 with some decent band tension. I'm warm. My upper body's warm. My traps, my triceps, my biceps, everything is warm. Why do I need to warm up? Or why should you warm up more specifically for a bunch of nonsense when you're already warm, you're hot, I'm already sweaty. What's this warm up nonsense? I think it's just a way for people to poodle dick around and not really get straight to it. So we're going to number 18 on this stack. We're gonna do some wide rows for some rear delty, trappy, rhomboidy, and latty activation here. We're gonna pull hard as hell for 2 sets. Warm-ups are a psyop. And now for the fan favorite, some good old-fashioned cheater shrugs. Just gonna yank these as hard as I can. Yeah, I'm gonna swing my body. Yeah, I'm gonna be throwing it all over the place. But so what? This is the Dorian Yates sour. I might put this in black and white. Dorian Yates sour. I might put this in black and white. And now for my last trick, what I call the ISO rotations. I'm trying out a new view here. I don't know if it works, but I'm only doing one set, so good luck for the both of us. Since I hit my rep range last week, I've added 5 kilos, 11 pounds, and this is gonna be the most miserable thing probably I've ever done in my life. But this is the last set. Getting mentally focused here. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. Oh. Oh, I think that was 12. I'm not sure. I'll have to watch the video playback. But that's it.